friends, welcome back to the cookie drawer. I'm Tammy, and today I am putting together a pot roast we're going to put in the crock pot, and I thought I'd bring you along and show you how to make it. I'm going to start out by cutting up my onion. Now I have made this pot roast for a really long time. It's a favorite in our family. And I don't know exactly where I got the recipe, and I think there's an actual name for this kind of pot roast, like a Mississippi pot roast or something like that. But I found it online many years ago, like a lot of my recipes. Not all of them, but a lot of them were things I just found online. And we like it this way, so I'm going to make it today so that my husband and I have dinner waiting for us when it's time. So the first thing I'm doing here is just gonna chop up this onion. I have this little machine that I use to chop it up. It's a little chopper. There's like a million of these on the market. We like this one. This one's all metal, well, mostly metal, and does a really good job. And I've got a little drawer underneath it that holds my chopped onion. Now you don't have to chop your onion like this. My husband likes it this way, so this is how we make it. But you can definitely leave it in bigger chunks, which is what I used to do. But we've been doing it this way for a while now. So I've got my pot here that my roast goes in. And the first thing I'm gonna do is this is one whole onion. I'm gonna just dump it in there. Now with my roast, there's only 2 of us. So we don't really eat that much of a roast. So I usually, when I get it home from the grocery store, I take it and I cut it into thirds because about a pound each, because the roasts that I get from the store are close to 3 pounds. So my husband and I don't eat, see, this is just a small one. Then I take it and I vacuum seal it and I throw them in the freezer. I usually mark it, this is fresh. The other 2 that went in the freezer had markings on what it was. All right, so I've got this along the bottom. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I did forget to do something. I usually spray this. I don't know why, stuff wants to stick to my crock pot. So I'm gonna take the onions back out. That's really good, especially, like I said, the sides. My potatoes seem to stick to the sides to this one. Now you can get liners for these. I've never used a liner in mine. And sometimes, sorry about my back, sometimes I find that the liners of different things are almost more grief than they're worth. So I don't use them very often. Hopefully I can make this for you without bumbling too much. It is early in the morning. I just got up. I haven't even had coffee yet. Here, this is my first cup of coffee. But you want to get your roast in early, because if you don't, you won't have time to cook, right? So this is going to cook all day on low, and it's going to be really good. So let me get my roast out of the package. I have pre-washed my vegetables, so they're ready to roll. You can put in here things that you like. So if you like peppers, for example, that would be a good thing to put in here with the onion. You could put in here any kind of root vegetables. If you like parsnips, if you like turnips, those kind of things can go in here. Basically, this is, root vegetables work really well in here. I have a few baby carrots left over, so I'm gonna toss them in because I wanna get rid of them out of my fridge. And then I have just 3 regular carrots. Okay. These are pre-washed. I'm just cutting the ends off. I don't peel my carrots. You can, if that's what you like. I wash them really good, scrub them, and they're fine. Kind of cut your vegetables so they're sort of similar. So I'm looking to make my carrots similar to a baby carrot. At the the part here at the end where it's a little bit thicker, I'm gonna cut them a little bit smaller, and then I will cut them a little bigger. Like it, well, maybe they won't get too much bigger. But like this one's really skinny. I'm just gonna leave it into a big thing. But I'm just chunking it up. I mean, it's not, you know, you don't have to measure. It's not scientific that way. It's fine. Now I have 4 potatoes. I don't know if I'm gonna put all 4 in. I usually like to wait and see. You can use other kinds of potatoes. You can use a potato like a Yukon Gold or red potatoes that you don't necessarily have to peel, or you don't have to peel these either. My husband likes them peeled, so I always peel them for him, but you definitely don't have to do that. You know how recipes, sometimes they become like part of your own collection, right? They become part of your family collection. So I have made this long enough. I mean, this was, I'm sure I got this off the internet back in the earlier days of the internet, because I've used it for a very, very long time. But you know, you kind of get it, and it becomes like a family recipe. So I think that's always fun, because I mean, that's kind of how our recipes from our grandmothers and our mothers are. They were, you know, they got them somewhere. They got them from the neighbor. You know, my grandmother used to get a lot of recipes from like magazines and stuff. She tried a few of those different kinds of recipes, and so did I back in the day. A lot of our recipes just came out of magazines, or I even have a recipe for sweet potato souffle that I actually got off of the Today Show years ago. It was, they had just a spot on there, and they were talking about different recipes for probably Thanksgiving at the time. And I was able to write really fast, so I wrote it down, and I still use that recipe. So, you know, we get them from everywhere. And then I'm just gonna chop these probably in half here. I'm gonna leave them pretty big. Now I know I said leave your, do your vegetables the same. The carrots, for sure, you wanna kind of have your carrots sort of the same. Your potatoes, though, are gonna cook much faster, just because potatoes, they just do. So I'm just gonna cut my potatoes in half. That will be perfectly fine. I really did not need 4, but here we are. Okay, oh, I know what I'm missing. Let me go grab it. Another thing that I put in mine is, see, this is what we have so far. We've just got the meat, the onions, the potatoes, and the carrots. I also add a good healthy dose of garlic to mine. I'm back. So I just use this jarred garlic. You can use fresh garlic for sure. Today I'm just using this. So I do put quite a bit, we put quite a bit of garlic in here. We do like a lot of garlic. I'm probably gonna empty this jar because there wasn't much left in it, but I would say I've got a good tablespoon or more. But if you don't like garlic, you can either leave it out or you can use way less. I mean, you could use just 1 clove of garlic chopped up if you wanted to, but this is how I'm doing it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this so I can kind of get some of this last bit of garlic out. Get off my spoon. And that will be that for the garlic. Do you guys like garlic in your roast? Do you guys do this? I don't think everybody does, so I'm just curious. The water isn't gonna hurt because we're going to add some liquid to this, which is gonna be the next part. Now, this is not all the vegetables we'll have, if I can remember. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I can remember, I usually like to throw some corn and some peas in, like during the last hour, half hour to hour. And then that just sort of is just extra veggies for us, which is good. But here's the secret ingredients to this, guys. I know this is, people don't like buying these things, but do you see what I have here? I have 3 packets. Whoops, I have one upside down. I guess you can't see what it is. Brown gravy mix, Italian dressing mix, and ranch mix. You can buy these in big jars, and just use I don't know, however much it would be. You can look that. I know there's things on the internet that tell you how much each packet holds, like a tablespoon or something like that. But I have the packets, so that's what I'm going to use. You can actually make your own of these, and I haven't done that yet, and I really would like to. But you can make your own mixes, and I've been seeing a lot of recipes recently on the internet for how to make these. So, all right, I'm going to get 1 cup of water. It doesn't need to be exact. It's okay. I've got a little more than a cup here. It's fine. And I am just going to put in all 3 of these into this cup of water, just to get them all dissolved in and mixed in. But maybe someday we'll make these mixes. Maybe I'll do a video on that if I could give it a whirl, and we'll see how it turns out. But they look pretty easy to make, and I know that one of the things against using these mixes is that there's a lot of ingredients in them, like anti-caking ingredients and things like that people don't, it's not considered clean or whatever. And I don't like all those ingredients either. I don't like that stuff. So, but for now, this is what I'm using. And this makes it easy to, look at, if you're a busy person, if you work, if you're working, if you have little kids underfoot, you're a mom, or if you have limitations or whatnot, look at it, it's okay. Shortcuts are fine. Just like I used the baby carrots. I could have used all baby carrots in here, and I have in the past. I just didn't have enough, so I used regular carrots. Regular carrots are a little bit cheaper than buying the baby carrots. But hey, sometimes you have to do what works. So I'm not opposed to people using convenience items. All right, I need to grab a little whisk. Let me go get that. Okay, I have this just little tiny whisk. I don't even know where I got it, but it's very useful in this application. So I'm just gonna whisk this stuff in, and we're gonna make it all nice and liquidy. So it's kind of like making like like when you would make like a gravy or something before you heat it up, right? You're gonna mix it in with the water. That's pretty much what I'm doing here. And you can see this is all, can you see this? Yeah, you can see this. It's just all nicely mixed in. See, all together. And I am just gonna pour this over the top. I'm gonna pour it over the top of everything. So not just my meat. I like to, this is really good. It makes a nice little gravy that you can use on top of your potatoes and everything. So it's very tasty. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this crock pot back into the crock base. I'm gonna turn it on. It's gonna go on low for about 8 to 10 hours, and it'll be all ready for me at dinner time. Hi friends, we're back at the crock pot. It has now been about 9 hours since I started this morning, and it's looking really good, but I want to add some corn and peas to it, and it will cook again for about 30 minutes. So let's see where we're at here. I'm just gonna sprinkle in what we're gonna want. I usually, for just the 2 of us, I only put maybe a quarter of a package of each. These are just frozen peas and corn that they actually used some of them before. So you can use fresh, you can use frozen, you could even put canned in here if you wanted to. Although I don't know if I would let it go too long with the canned, because
the canned stuff is already cooked, and so you probably don't want that to go too long. Sorry if all that crinkling was in the way. Okay, so I'm just gonna push this so that all of my vegetables are down in the broth. And I don't know if you can see, let me move this maybe a little bit over here, if you can see what's in here. And we've got the roast here in the middle. Remember, I don't have a very big roast in here. There's just two of us, and my potatoes are cooked and my carrots are cooked. And it hasn't stuck too bad to the sides, so that's a good thing. I'll just get those pieces of pea and corn down there as much as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna put the lid back on. I'm gonna let it continue to go for about 30 minutes, and then I'll bring you back and we'll see how it looks. Hi, we're back. It has been 30 minutes and all of our vegetables are cooked. Let's see how it looks. Here it is, all of our stuff. Let's plate this out. Now, the good thing about this is that it just is so tender when you cook it in the crock pot. Roasts are the kind of thing that you really have to cook for a long time, because otherwise it's just really tough. And who wants to eat tough meat? But look at this, guys. It is just looking so good. All these nice vegetables and my roast. Look at, I'm cutting it with a spoon, people. It's got all of that great gravy that was made by the packets that we put in there, and all of those vegetables, the carrots, the onions, the peas, the corn, and the potatoes. So there you have it. It's a very easy meal. You can make it ahead of time, and then you get to walk home and your home smells great and dinner's ready. Enjoy. We'll see you next time on the Cookie Drawer. Bye now.